I need to ask you a favor. I need you to clap for my dancing instructors at the back there, those young ladies in their uniforms. Could you please stand up? Because you guys taught me how to dance. Take a bow. Take a bow. Awesome. And now I need to ask you another favor, and I have a free gift for this favor. I need you to clap your hands, please. For yourself, for showing up here, for not leaving, for listening to us, for making a change to your lives. And the free gift, really, I'm going to delay it a little bit. I have a question. Can anybody shout out exactly what's the total number of population on the earth, on this planet? Sorry, who said that? Oh, you don't count. Can somebody else in the audience shout out? 7 billion? You're pretty right on, pretty right on. And the free gift is, could please, either one of your neighbors stands up and give each other a hug. That's my free gift to you. And now I have a very, very important and very serious question, and you can't get this one wrong. I want you to guess, what is my age? Shout out. You guys, you don't count. So please, one of the people in the audience. 51? Close enough, close enough. 56. In July, I'll be 57. And I need you to please remember these two numbers. 7 billion, actually it's about 7.5 billion. And 56 and a three-quarter, maybe. So one of my colleagues said it earlier on, Lisa, and I couldn't love you more. She said that we have two stories. Each and every one of us has a two story. So I have two stories. And so I'm not going to start from my left story, the little person with two red ears and, jumping out. So when I saw the lineup, I thought, oh my God, who the hell am I to be in this lineup amongst the doctors, the veteran of real estate, the speakers, the coaches? I'm nothing, And so that's a little guy on my left that's telling me that. And then the little guy on my right said, well, you know what? What the heck? Just be there and go with the flow. So here I am. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of story about myself. At the age of 12, I was still in Taiwan. I was born and raised in Taiwan until 21. So at the age of 12, when I was still in Taiwan, unfortunately, my father's business partners sort of did something that's not very good, so we went bankrupt. My father was the only one that guaranteed the loans on the business, so we went bankrupt. I remember seeing, we lived in an okay neighborhood, it's considered to be quite okay. And so I remember seeing the door having two yellow tapes on it. And it says foreclosed, of course, in Chinese. So since that day, about a month later, I found a job. So I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go wash the cars, because cars are owned by people who can afford it. So I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, washing cars, and then, and then change into my uniform, go to school. And then at night, I would actually go to pop, so to speak, to be the, dishwasher. So that's what I did, but I have no regrets. I loved it. I loved my life. So fast forward, in 1996, my sister was diagnosed with bipolar. And then in early 2000, she was diagnosed further with being bipolar borderline between bipolar and schizophrenic. And when my daughter was 7.5 months old, I became a single parent. And I started to take care of my parents and my daughter and myself financially. But you know what? It was all okay. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to be a little bit boastful because I spent 25 years of my life in the financial industry. The first 10 years of my life, I went from a junior clerk all the way up to assistant vice president of a bank. And then after that, you know, I was in charge of a credit underwriting, very high value. I was underwriting anywhere between $150,000 to millions of dollars. And then I became a treasury manager. I was managing the cash flow, the treasury for a consumer financing company. So I was considered doing really well, very successful in my own right. And fast forward 2011, I lost my job. I received a very, very handsome package, mind you, but you know, I got laid off. So my whole world crumbled. I was having a bit of family issue, and I lost my job, although, you know, a month and a half later, you know, I found another job as an accountant because I got my designation as an accountant, as a CPA. But my world actually crumbled. And I didn't know how to live my life because I have always been very successful and a very strong person. And, you know, I had to take care of everything. I have to be that strong person for my family, for my daughter, for everybody. Everything, everybody. I can't fail. I can't lose. I just can't. So at that point, I was diagnosed as chronic depression. And for the longest period of time, I would just curl up on the couch, and the TV will be on for 24 hours. I don't know what I was watching. I didn't know what I was listening. Nothing made sense. And so my doctor, I don't know about system in New Zealand, but in Canada, if you try to kill yourself, if you don't want to go into the hospital to be medicated, then the doctor, whether you're a GP or you're a psychiatrist or a psychologist, they can actually certify you to be in the hospital. So I can't remember if it was 6 times or 7 times, I lost count, that I got certified into the hospital. Because each and every time I would find a way to kill myself, I would, you know, crash my car into a cement block, and I would take pills, and I would do anything and everything to end my life because there's just nothing left for me. So one day, I was lying on the couch. So bear with me, just imagine this. I was lying on the couch, and I thought, one of the tools that I was provided at the hospital was in a group consultation is to have a vision. Have a vision as where you want to be, how you want to be, whom you want to be. And I hated it. I hated a group consultation. You know, some people would just talk, and other people just sit there and not making a sound. And so, but that day, when I had the idea that I want to kill myself again, and I was lying on the couch, so I looked up, and I tried to imagine that I was 6 feet under. And I can see the dirt piling up on me. And then at that point, I saw my daughter, and I saw my sister. So my daughter at that point was 20 years old. And my sister, as I earlier mentioned, that she's between bipolar and schizophrenic. So at that point, I can see 6 feet under that my daughter would never, ever live her life the same. Never. She might have a lot of guilt. She might have a lot of regrets. She might have a lot of things. And she would never, ever be able to live the same. And I see my sister. And I thought, who's going to take care of her? Who's going to do things for her. So at that point, I woke up. And then really, truthfully, the very next day, I got up and I go like, okay, come on, let's go. Let's go find something to do. So I always love real estate. So I went to take courses. I took 3 different programs. And Mike Wolf, the veteran of the real estate, thank you very much. And he taught me a lot. And so I got into real estate. Now, I've been doing fix and flip. And last year, I came close 4 times to be bankruptcy. But I got through it. Each and every time, I got through it. And you know what that got me through it? There is a reason why. And you all have a reason why. When things happen, when it gets tough, you get through it. And you don't give up. You never give up. Don't ever give up. Especially those young ladies on top there. You know, you got another 80 years to live. How's that? Don't ever give up. Never give up. Okay? So this is my message to you. One last thing, because I'm getting electrified. So one last thing before I go is, if ever you run into any situation, call somebody, talk to somebody, don't give up. Can you promise me that? Can you? Can you? Can you? Okay, great. My mission is accomplished. Thank you very much.